The Sumerians were the inhabitants of southern Mesopotamia, a civilization that thrived between approximately 4100 and 1750 BCE. Despite commonly being referred to as a country, Sumer was actually a collection of independent city-states, each with its own ruler. Their name, derived from the northern region of Akkad, indicates their association with the land of the civilized kings. However, the Sumerians themselves simply called their region the land or the land of the black-headed people. The Sumerians made groundbreaking advancements and introduced pivotal concepts that continue to influence our world today. They established fundamental units of time, dividing day and night into 12-hour segments, hours into 60 minutes, and minutes into 60 seconds. This timekeeping system remains in use to this day. Beyond time, their contributions included the establishment of the earliest schools, creation of the original Great Flood and other biblical narratives, development of the oldest heroic epic, implementation of governmental bureaucracy, construction of monumental architecture, and formulation of irrigation techniques. The early dynastic period saw the rise of kings and the establishment of governance, accompanied by tensions and conflicts among Sumerian city-states over resources. Periodically, these city-states united under a single ruler, such as Enlil of Kish, who led Sumer against Elam in history's first recorded war around 2700 BCE. Sumer was eventually conquered by Sargon of Akkad, r. 2334 to 2279 BCE, who incorporated it into his multinational empire. His rule was succeeded by the Ksans, then Ur-Nammu and Shulgi of Ur, credited with the Sumerian Renaissance. Despite conquests, Sumerian cities prospered from trade, fostering cultural growth and leading to numerous innovations. Sumerians conceptualized the city, and the city-state of Uruk is a contender for the title of the oldest city in the world. The heart of each city was its temple complex, characterized by towering ziggurats that inspired the tale of the Tower of Babel. These ziggurats held great significance as centers of worship and cultural activity. Eridu, particularly devoted to the god Enki, held special importance among Sumerians, standing as a testament to their deep religious and cultural ties. The Sumerians, who inhabited ancient Mesopotamia, considered Eridu to be the first city in the world. This distinction held deep significance, as Eridu was associated with their god of wisdom and water, Enki. According to their belief, Enki raised Eridu from the watery marshes and established fundamental concepts of order and kingship in the land. The significance of Eridu's founding by Enki was comparable to the biblical notion of the Garden of Eden. It was seen as a golden age, a place where gods resided and where the essential rules of civilization, known as the May, were established. Gwendolyn Leake, a scholar, underscores that the Mesopotamian Eden is not a garden, but a city that emerged from a piece of dry land surrounded by water. In this narrative, the first building erected was a temple, illustrating how cities evolved and functioned. Eridu served as the model for this mythical depiction. Interestingly, the story of Eridu's fall deviates from the biblical tale of humanity's sins. Instead, it revolves around the cleverness of Inanna, a prominent Mesopotamian goddess. In the poem Inanna and the God of Wisdom, Inanna visits Eridu from her city of Uruk, Enki's daughter. She persuades Enki to share the May, symbols of cultural knowledge, while they share drinks. In a jovial state, Enki grants her the May, and Inanna takes advantage of the situation. She swiftly transports them to Uruk, solidifying its prominence and diminishing Eridu's significance. This myth likely emerged as a response to the transition from an agrarian society, symbolized by Eridu, to the urban development epitomized by cities like Uruk, which held considerable power in the region. The story reflects the changing dynamics between ancient cities and their evolving roles in shaping Sumerian civilization. In Sumerian society, religion was deeply intertwined with governance and the overall social structure. The Sumerians held the belief that the gods had established order from chaos, and it was every individual's responsibility to collaborate with the gods in order to maintain this order. They saw their role as co-workers with the divine, working to prevent chaos from re-emerging. However, the gods would undo their work if human noise and trouble became unbearable. The Eridu Genesis, an ancient Sumerian composition dating to around 2300 BCE, is the earliest known version of the Great Flood story. This tale later found its way into other narratives like the Adrahosis, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and the Book of Genesis. It recounts how the gods unleashed a flood to wipe out humanity, sparing only one man, Ziusudra. Following divine instruction, Ziusudra built an ark and saved pairs of animals. The gods later decided to maintain control over humans by introducing death and disease, thus re-establishing order and placing limits on human life and ambition. Maintaining order included finding ways to collaborate and work together. While individuality was highly valued among the Sumerians, the gods required them to prioritize the common good over personal rivalry and conflicts. Irrigation played a crucial role in Sumerian society. The complex irrigation system demanded communal effort and organization. The need for equitable water distribution and maintenance led to the development of governmental institutions and the rise of the Sumerian state. The Sumerian king list, originating around 2100 BCE, traced the lineage of kings back to the dawn of time, signifying the gods' establishment of kingship in Eridu. The first known king, Inanna, was attributed with stabilizing the lands. At the heart of each Sumerian city-state was a king known as the Lugal, meaning big man. The Lugal oversaw various responsibilities, including land cultivation, and served as the link between the divine will and earthly affairs. Originally, the Lugal led a closely knit community known as a household, which pooled resources. This household concept continued as the foundational power structure of the cities. The rise of cities and agricultural innovations catalyzed a revolutionary shift in human history. The Sumerians embraced the idea that humanity had the right, duty, and destiny to surpass nature and become its masters. This conviction, shared by many throughout history, has been a driving force behind progress and advancement. As Sumerian cities expanded, their need for resources led to territorial expansion and conflicts with neighboring regions. During the Uruk period, a pivotal development emerged: writing, which began around 3600 to 3500 BCE. Early writing aimed at facilitating long-distance trade communication. However, its simplicity limited conveying detailed information. This evolved during the early dynastic period, yielding the cuneiform script. Sumerian culture embraced writing, birthing significant literary works like the Epic of Gilgamesh and Inanna's hymns to Inanna. The Sumerian language became the lingua franca of Mesopotamia, and cuneiform was used to document various languages. Sumerian culture had a profound influence on subsequent civilizations. Sumerian literature impacted later writers, including those of the Bible. Inanna's works inspired future liturgies, Sumerian animal fables reached Aesop's tales, and the Epic of Gilgamesh resonated in works like the Iliad and Odyssey. The Sumerian concept of gods dwelling in temple complexes and the shape of ziggurats possibly influenced Egyptian pyramid construction and deity beliefs. Sumerian timekeeping and writing systems were adopted by other cultures. Sumerians embraced cylinder seals as personal identifiers. These persisted in Mesopotamia until the fall of the Assyrian Empire around 612 BCE. The Sumerians contributed widely to civilization. However, their cultural decline started before its ultimate collapse around 1750 BCE due to the Elamite invasion. Shulgi of Ur's defensive wall proved ineffective against the invaders, signaling the end. The culture had struggled since the rise of the Amorites in Babylon, whose power shift brought changes. The ascension of Semitic Amorites in Babylon, especially during Hammurabi's rule, 1792 to 1750 BCE, marked a significant cultural shift. The Sumerian theological model changed as Marduk, a supreme male god, gained prominence. Temples dedicated to goddesses waned, and women's rights, traditionally equal to men's, diminished alongside the decline of the Sumerian cities. Over-exploitation of land, urban growth, and ongoing conflicts were primary reasons for the city's downfall. The fading importance of female deities and women's rights was a mysterious yet telling aspect of the cultural decline. The Elamite invasion of 1750 BCE merely concluded the process initiated by the deteriorating Sumerian culture. The remarkable contributions of the Sumerians to world culture were obscured for centuries, awaiting discovery beneath layers of sand. Ancient references to them were misunderstood due to a lack of knowledge about their existence. For instance, the biblical book of Genesis alluded to the land of Shinar, which was linked to Mesopotamia, but its true significance remained hidden until the reality of Sumer, the biblical Shinar, was unveiled. A significant turning point occurred in the mid-19th century CE, marked by Western expeditions to the Near East and Middle East. These journeys aimed to unearth physical evidence that would verify the authenticity of biblical stories. Scholars sought to uncover ruins of ancient structures and cities mentioned in the Bible, including the potential location of Shinar. During this period, the Bible was considered the world's oldest and original text, containing narratives like the Garden of Eden, the fall of man, and the Great Flood. These stories were believed to be uniquely inspired by the Judeo-Christian God. However, the archaeologists and scholars dispatched on these expeditions encountered a different truth. They stumbled upon the undeniable reality of Sumer, contradicting the notion of the Bible as the sole origin of such narratives.